A very good morning, my dear students. We'll study today the highway engineering. Okay, so where we in the last class, in the previous class, what we studied is about the importance of the road system and the types of road system, and also the JICAR committee formation and recommendations, and also the implementation of the JICAR committee. So next we'll study about the classification of the roads. Okay, there are so many classifications based on the reasons. Okay, so now first classification is based on the season of the year. Based on the season of the year, it is all weather roads and fair weather roads. All weather roads are those roads which are negotiable during all weather, except at major river crossing where interruption to traffic is permissible up to certain extent. That means with these roads are during negotiable during all weather conditions. Means these are going to run at all the weather conditions. These roads are running at some major river crossings where then there will be interruption to the traffic is permissible. So this is called as all weather roads. Then fair weather roads are those roads the traffic may be interrupted during the monsoon season at causeways where streams may overflow across the roads. The difference between all weather roads and fair weather roads is the all weather roads, these all weather roads, these roads are running on the 12 months of the year. Okay, some exception will be there when there will be a major rivers are there. In some cases there may be chances of overflowing of water in above that road, so that may be accepted, permissible. You can know nowadays you have seen that your roads, your village roads are also there, and due to the what heavy rainfall, isn't it? So what is going on now? Due to heavy rainfall, there may be some of the roads which are every year they are in the water itself. They are comes under fair weather roads, but some roads they are not been obstructed by the water, but due to heavy rains by at some of the times. Okay, so they may be affected. They comes under all weather roads. So this is based on the season of the year this classification has been done. Now the based on type of carriageway, they based on the type of carriageway means the whatever the top pavement of the road, based on that it is paved roads and unpaved roads. Paved roads are those which are being provided with hard pavement course at least of WBM layer. WBM means water bound macadam. What is WBM? It is water bound macadam. Means paved roads means are those roads which the surface should be smooth. So you can compare with the jungle as well. You can compare with the adjacent road. This road is little, you can see and you can judge that this is one is paved, means there will be a little bit compaction with the roller, and maybe soling has been done. That is called as paved roads. Okay, in comparison with this, unpaved roads are those which are not provided with hard pavement surface. Earth and gravel roads are unpaved roads. Unpaved roads are comes under earth and gravel. Earth means whatever your soil will be there, cleaning off the particular width of the road in the trench, that with some of the compaction. So that kind of roads are called as earthen roads. Earth roads means it is made with same soil with compaction and watering. Okay, and the gravel roads are those roads which are been made with the little bit initially for making of this gravel roads. The earthen road for earth road only, the gravel has been going to be laid, and upon the gravel there will be a roller compaction. So the road formation is called gravel roads. So unpaved roads and paved roads. Okay, comparison clear. Paved roads means it has been paved, the top surface of the road is paved. Okay, so based on the type of the pavement surface, it is surface roads and unsurfaced roads. In surface road is provided with bituminous or cement concrete surfacing, and unsurfaced roads means not provided with bitumen or cement concrete. So it is same only, it is similarly over paved and unpaved how it is. In surface road, the surface of that road has been laid with the bituminous or else with the cement concrete, whereas in the unsurfaced roads it has been not provided with bitumen or a cement concrete surfacing. This classification we will study in broadly in with the figures also. Now, based on the traffic volume, it is light, medium and heavy. The light roads are the roads on which traffic volume are low. What are the low? Low means the roads which are having very light traffic. So for example, for this light roads is village roads and other district roads. Village roads and other district roads. You can check there for a meter or for 100-meter distance, the density will be very less, 1 or 2. Okay, but in the village roads as well as the other district roads. The medium roads are the roads in which the traffic intensity is relatively more as compared to the other district roads. And heavy roads. Heavy roads are the roads on which traffic intensity is high. Heavy roads are those in which traffic intensity is very. So you can call your NH4 highways 4-lane or 6-lane highways which is having high traffic intensity. Okay, that is NH highway and state highway example for heavy roads. So based on the load transported or a tonnage, it is class A, class B or class 1 or class 2. Class 1 where the vehicles carries less ton of the load on the roads. It is based on the load carrying capacity of the road. It has been classified class A or class B. Class A roads are the roads which are carrying less tons of loads, whereas the class B roads on which the vehicles carry more loads, and class C the roads on which trucks with heavy tons of loads is allowed. So class C road means which these are the roads in which these roads can carry heavy loads. Based on the location and the function, this has been classified as national highway, state highway, major district roads, minor district road or other district roads, and village roads. These I think the location and function you have seen, which are the national highway, which are the state highway, which are the major district roads, which are the minor district roads and the village roads. I think you have seen. The national highways are those which are connecting to the major cities like Pune to Bangalore, Pune to Mumbai, Mumbai to Bangalore, so Calcutta. So likewise, these connections are roads which are connecting to the major cities. State highways are those which are connected to the district. Okay. And major district roads are the road which are connecting from inter-district movement. For the inter-district movement, district to district, there is a roads are being connected. These are major district road. Minor district roads means from taluka to taluka, taluk to taluk, and village roads from taluk to the villages. These roads. Again, these roads has been classified based on the third 20-year road plan. One is primary system, secondary system, third system. You can call it one as primary system as expressway and national highway. Secondary system, state highway or major district road. tertiary system, that is rural roads, other district road and village roads. Classification of urban roads: arterial, subarterial, collector, streets, local street. So these are the classification. This classification will study with the figures. Okay. Based on this classification based on the rigidity, that are flexible roads and the rigid roads. Flexible roads are those roads which are made with the asphalt roading, which are flexible enough. Okay, these roads are rigid roads. Okay, this has been made with the concrete. It is made with subgrade existing soil. Then it is been laid with subbase course and base course and a concrete slab. This is the composition of these rigid roads. The types of road based on the location and the function. Based on the location and function, it has been classified: national highway, state highway. This is national highway. This is connecting all major cities and the state of the country. Okay. Again, here in this national highway 1, 2, 3, so based on the road condition, it has been classified. Next is the state highways. The state highways connecting the major district roads. From district to district, these roads are been connecting. These are major district roads. Next, district roads. Okay, this has been provided within the cities. Again, here it is major district roads and the minor district roads. Next, village roads. These connecting the nearby villages with each other. Village to village, for the movement of the village to village, these roads has been provided. These are village roads. Now the classification based on the traffic volume we have studied right now, that is high traffic, medium traffic and light traffic. Okay, the high traffic roads are the roads which are carrying more than 1000 vehicles per day. How many? More than 1000 vehicles per day. So these roads are called as high traffic roads. This again this has been classified based on the intensity also. And this one is the medium traffic roads. Here these roads can carry a 4000 to 1000 vehicles per day. Means the traffic intensity is less compared to your heavy traffic roads. Next is the light traffic roads. Light traffic roads, so it can carry less than 400 vehicles per day. So based on the SIS survey, this roads has been classified. Before going for this design of these roads, this survey has been carried out, and based on that the roads has been constructed. Now the classification is based on the based on what it is based on the traffic type. Okay, this classification is based on the traffic type. It is motorways, cycle tracks and pedestrian ways. So you can understood this what is motorway, and here you can see in this figure the vehicles are there, vehicles are moving. These are motorways. You can call also expressway also you can call. One way traffic will be there here in this figure. And this is cycle tracks which has been provided separately and adjacent to your roads, the cycle tracks. And also in the cycle tracks there are two-way marking will be there, so one way here and one on the other side. This is cycle track. Next will be pedestrian. It is footpaths for the movement of the peoples. Pedestrian ways, this has been made with cobblestone pavers. Okay. The pedestrian ways. Now the based on the materials which we are using for the construction of the roads, it has been classified as earthen roads, gravel roads, moram roads, conker roads, WBM. This one is what earthen roads. You can see in the figure it is made with the earth material. So earth material will be there, and upon that there will be compaction. Okay, this is the gravel road. You can see the gravels over here. After the earthing has been done, the gravel has been laid and the gravel has been compacted with the compaction machine, that is roller, and it is a mixture of the gravel and the soil, called as gravel roads. This one is moram roads. You can see this kind of in a jungles, okay, where these roads has been provided. These roads are not been permanent. Okay, if any heavy rains will be there, this has got eroded. So this is temporary roads. Okay, moram roads. The moram has been laid and the moram has been compacted to for making of this road. With the figure itself you can see where these roads can be utilized. Okay, moram roads, earthen roads. Okay, their utilization will be very less. For that purpose only these roads has been made. If the utilization will be more, then it has been made with paved roads. And this one is conker roads. Okay, gravel and a conker difference can you see, observe here. Gravel has been made with the stones. A conker is it is less than 40 mm or 20 mm coarse aggregates which has been laid and had been compacted. Okay, these are conker roads. These are waterborne macadam. Asphalt has been used for construction of this road. It is WBM, waterborne macadam roads. Bituminous and waterborne macadam. You can see the finishing of this bituminous and waterborne macadam. Bituminous is very smoother one. So and this one comes under flexible road, isn't it? That waterborne also comes under this flexible roads, but the smoothing, the whatever the finish of the surface is more in the bituminous roads. This one is the concrete roads. What you can see, white topping. Okay, it is made with the cement concretes with the construction joints. Why the joints has been provided? Because the concrete is going to be increase its dimension due under the loads, lateral pressures, and due to the temperature, the volume of the concrete is going to be increased. That's the way we are providing the construction joints. Now the classification is based on the topography. It is plain area road and hilly area roads. This is not there for your syllabus, just for your knowledge purpose. This is plain area road constructed on a level surface. And hilly areas. Okay. Next we'll move to our presentation here. So far we have studied the classification of roads. Okay, I think you are clear with the pictures and the video what we have shown here. Okay, this is the classification of the roads. Now we'll study the different road patterns. So one is rectangular or a block pattern. You can see the figure here. This is rectangular road pattern. So in this pattern, the whole area is divided into rectangular blocks or plots with streets intersecting at right angles. The main road which passes through the center of the area should be sufficiently wide and other branch roads may be comparatively narrow. The main road is provided a direct approach to the outside the city. See here, we are having one area. The area has been divided into a rectangular blocks. Okay, the horizontal whatever you are seeing, these are main roads. The main roads are been little bit wider than the adjacent crossroads. The crossroads are narrower. Okay, main roads are broader and adjacent crossroads are narrower. Whatever the central the area has been marked. Okay, this area. Okay, this area is the business area. This is at the central of the block pattern, and this has been connected with the main roads. Okay, from whatever the shopping, whatever the marketing has been done, this road has been directly connected to the outside the city. So these roads has been connected directly outside the city. These are the main roads for this business area. Then these are made with the residentials. Okay, these are made with the other blocks has been made with the residential. For that they are provided the crossroads. Okay, the main roads and the crossroads are perpendicular to each other. The main roads and the crossroads are perpendicular to each other. Due to this we are having some advantages as well as the limitations. So we'll study the advantages of this rectangular block system. The rectangular plots may be further be divided into small rectangular blocks for construction of the buildings placed back to back, having roads on their front. Okay, so what, and in this pattern has been adopted for the city roads. The construction and maintenance of the road of this pattern is comparatively easier. What they are telling, the whatever the box, rectangular box we are having, so in that the sides are going to mark such that each facing of each house is going to be towards the roads. Okay, back to back. Okay, if you divided this rectangular divided into two, so one is on facing on one side and other is on the other side of the roads. This has been done here, and because of this rectangular block pattern, the maintenance of the road system is easier and it is very convenient. Okay, the limitations is this pattern is not very much convenient because at the intersection the vehicles face each other. The limitations of this block pattern is because the main roads and the crossroads are perpendicular to each other, there is a chances of there is no chance the faces vehicle at the junction of or corners or junctions of these roads vehicle face each other. So that is the one major limitation of this block rectangular pattern. Now we move to the radial star and block pattern, star block pattern. In this pattern you can see the figure, it is in the shape of star. Okay, it is in the shape of star, so only they are given the star and it is in the radial outwards, so it has also given radial pattern. So in this pattern the entire area is divided into network of roads radiating from the business outwardly. Here also the business area is at the center. From the center the roads has been diverted outwards in the radial direction. Okay, you can see the central business area. Again we are having one main road. From this central area the roads, the traffic is going to be distributed in a radial direction. Okay, there is no crossroad for this, and between these roads the whatever the remaining place will be there, that has been utilized for the residential purpose. Okay. In between radiating main roads the built up area may be planned with the rectangular blocks. Okay, advantage of this radial block pattern is it reduces the level of congestion at the primary bottleneck location. What it means, the traffic will not be moved only at not only from one route here, it is having radial various routes. Okay, at the neck of the central business area it is having various routes, so that there won't be a much traffic. If there is traffic at one road, if there is vehicles are moving at one road, the other vehicle can take another road and another vehicle can take another road for the movement from central business to the outside the city, so that there will be a very less traffic at the neck of the business area. This is one the advantages of this pattern, and it prevents traffic from accessing local flow roads in the direction of the event venue that operates in favor of increased traffic flow. Here they are going to provide one or two roads for incoming of the vehicles and one or two vehicles for the outgoing. Okay, so that there will be less traffic in the area and there is no vehicles there is no facing of the vehicles here. If one is the block, then other side traffic can move. That only. If one road is being blocked, the traffic can move through the other side. There is a less facing of the vehicles as compared to the block pattern. Now the limitations of this radial pattern is it proves particularly effective if two-lane ramp traffic does not have to merge at downstream end of the ramp, and safety appurtenances such as guide rail transition, crash attenuators, and post support bases have not been designed to provide adequate protection at hazardous location from the opposite direction of the travel. So these are the two limitations is having this radial or a star pattern system. Now one more, radial or star and circular pattern. It is radial as well as in circular. So it is radial and circular pattern system. In this system, the main radial roads radiating from central business area and are connected together with concentric roads. From central business area, the roads are being in the radial direction, okay, main roads. And again, these main roads are has been connected to the concentric circle, okay. In these areas, boundary by adjacent radial roads and corresponding circular roads, the built-up R is planned with a curved block pattern. So within this, whatever the area is there, that has been used for the whatever we are showing here, built-up area. In here, we can provide with the residential, okay. At traditional intersection with stop signs or traffic signal, some of the most common types of crashes are right angle, left turn, and head-on collision. These type of collisions can be severe because vehicles may be traveling through the intersection at high speed with circular pattern. These type of potential serious crashes essentials are eliminated because vehicles travel in the same directions. These are advantages. The advantages of this is, as there is no junctions, the vehicles are moving in a circular. After the radiating in a radial direction, these vehicles are going to take a path in a circular path, okay. See, in the business area, if the vehicles is going to take a main road, then there is a circular pattern. This circular pattern is helpful for the movement of the vehicles, so that there will be a less head-on collision in the circular pattern of the roads. Installing circular pattern in place of traffic signals can also reduce the likelihood of rear-end crashes. If you provide the traffic signals also, there will be rear chances of the crashing of the vehicles. Removing the reasons for drivers to speed up as they approach green lights, and by reducing abrupt stops at red lights. So, and also by the whatever the driver should not be such that you know that you have seen that nowadays whenever there is a red light, suddenly the driver is in the speed, and whenever red light comes in the traffic signals, he is going to put a sudden brake, okay. But these are the what the behind the person who are coming behind that, he will be unaware of that one, whether he is going to put sudden brake or not. So if we reduce such kind of these things, so seriously we can reduce the accidents in this system, because roundabouts improve the efficiency of a traffic flow. They also reduce the vehicle emission and fuel consumption. These are the advantages of this system, and the limitations are Central lines of roads leading to circular pattern should be properly aligned with the central lines. As it is circular in shape, so whenever we are marking for the central line of this road, it should be care should be taken to mark the central line. Approach road should be sufficiently curved far enough in advance of circular pattern to reduce vehicle speed of entering drivers. Island separating the approach and exit lanes, known as splitter island, should extend it far enough to provide pedestrian refuge and to delineate the roundabouts. Traffic signs, pavement markings, lighting should be adequate so that drivers are aware that they are approaching the roundabout and that they should reduce their travel speed. The traffic signs and pavement markings should be placed such that there is a roundabout will be there so that they can reduce their speed. These care should be taken. These are what the limitations of this circular system. For older drivers, declines in vision, hearing, and cognitive function, as well as physical impairments, may affect some older adults' driving ability. Okay, so this is also one of the limitations. If there is a older drivers will be there, for them it is very difficult to understand the pattern and there may be a due to the low visibility, there may to low visibility they are not unaware of where is the roundabout will be there, where to stop and all those things. So this is also one of the limitations of this circular pattern. By comparing these two, what radial and circular radial, here is one more pattern has been evolved, that is radial star and grid pattern. Star and grid pattern. It is in the shape of star as well as grid as well as in the radial direction. Change in direction and because street pattern are the most enduring physical element of any layout, it could be potentially contribute to systematic site planning and consequently deserve a closer look. Though the network is entirely interconnected, north-south movements become circuitous, indirect and inconvenient, making driving an unlikely choice and vividly illustrating that interconnectedness by itself is insufficient to facilitate movement. Here you can see this radial block star pattern. It has been included that the blocks are in the grid pattern as well as the movement will be in the radial direction as well as the star pattern is there. Here center is your business area and they are reduced the circuitous, okay, by making it as star grid. Okay, there will be straight line here, there is no circular or straight line. Okay, the vehicles are going to be move from this central business area towards outside, so they will take a path of these main roads and they will take a in the circular they will take a roundabout, but here it is in the straight pattern, so that this limitation has been eliminated in the previous one from the previous one. Okay, advantage of this is keeping vehicular traffic safe with higher proportion of three-way intersection. Okay, by providing three-way intersection, this has been vehicle traffic has been reduced cut-through traffic by similar or other means, improved traffic flow in both direction using Savannah's cellular structure. Okay, this is called as Savannah's cellular structure. Improve land use efficiency and unit density. So these are the advantages of this system. The limitations are island separating the approach and exit lanes, known as splitter island, should extend far enough. Okay, this has been extended far enough. This is the one of the disadvantages. And the traffic signs, pavement markings, lighting should be adequate so that drivers are aware that they should reduce their travel speed. So this similar limitation will be there in your as compared to your previous one. Next is the hexagonal pattern. In this pattern, the entire area is provided with a network of roads formatting hexagonal figures. Okay, you can see the hexagons here. You can see the hexagonal figures. At each corner of the hexagon, 3 roads meet. The built-up area boundary by the sides of hexagon is further divided in suitable sizes. Within this area, the blocks on the residential area and plots are going to be made here. Advantages of this hexagonal pattern is 3 roads meet the built-up area bounded by the sides of the hexagon. Means any junction there will be 3 roads are going to be made. Limitation is traffic signs, pavement marking, lighting should be adequate so that drivers can reduce their travel speed. Here also there is a very important thing is the marking of the traffic signs as well as the lighting, so that because at the junction there are 3 roads are going to be made, so that there will be facing of vehicles is more here. For that purpose, the traffic signs and signals should be maintained properly. These are what the different types of road systems, road patterns. Clear? So in the next again this we will study with the video with the figure and the movement of the vehicles. So I think you are clear with whatever I am teaching you guys. If you are having any doubts, feel free to ask me at any time. Okay, thank you for your listening to me.